So today we are going to do a lab where we are going to visualize what a limiting reactant looks like. And we're going to react sodium bicarbonate, which is just baking soda, with acetic acid, which you might know as vinegar. And we are going to collect the gas that's produced in a balloon and then be able to actually visualize which of the reactants is limiting. So first, let's figure out what the formulas are. If we look at sodium bicarbonate, sodium has a symbol of Na and a charge of +1. Bicarbonate is a polyatomic ion that is HCO3 with a charge of -1. And because it's +1 -1, our formula is simply NaHCO3. Acetic acid, it's an acid, so it starts with H, and that has a charge of plus. The ending -ic tells us it's a polyatomic ion that ends in 8, and acetate is C2H3O2, also -1. And because it's +1 -1, we have HC2H3O2. Now, if you notice, there's multiple hydrogens here. You can combine them to write it as C2H4O2, but I like leaving that hydrogen in front because it lets us know that it's an acid right away. So now let's write our balanced chemical reaction for sodium bicarbonate and acetic acid. We have NaHCO3 reacting with acetic acid. And because we have two compounds as our reactants, this is a double replacement reaction. So for our first product, we're going to have sodium, and it's now going to be bonded to acetate. And because sodium is Na +1 and acetate is C2H3O2 -1, that compound is just NaC2H3O2. The other product is a little bit harder to see because we have hydrogen, and it's now going to be bonded to bicarbonate. So if you're thinking about this, see how it's HCO3? So we can just call it H2CO3. But we're producing a gas, and none of these things are gases. And that's because what happens is the carbonic acid that I have written here in red actually decomposes. And when it decomposes, it produces water and carbon dioxide. So what's really being produced in this chemical reaction is the sodium acetate, water, and carbon dioxide. I would never make you write something like this by yourself. That's why I wanted to do the pre-lab questions with you. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to divide up into 6 groups, and you're going to get a Erlenmeyer flask, which is already out on the table. And no matter which group you're in, you're going to use 50 milliliters of vinegar. Depending on what group number it is, you're going to measure out a different amount of sodium bicarbonate, and you're going to put the sodium bicarbonate into the balloon using the funnel. Now, if you're in group 1, you can probably dump all of that in at the same time. But if you're in group 6, make sure you are putting the amount of baking soda in slowly, because if you pour it all into the funnel at the same time, it's going to clog the funnel. And you might need to tap the side of the funnel so that all the sodium bicarbonate falls through. Then you're going to put the balloon over the flask, but don't start the reaction until the teacher tells you to. Bring your flask to the front table, and then everyone's going to start the reactions at once.